Yes, I really am doing TurboFire. So for all you haters out there, I busted out my flip video camera this week during one of my TurboFire workouts to hopefully inspire some people that think that TurboFire is too hard for them to do. And it may not be the prettiest turbo that I've ever done, but you're going to have to go to my YouTube channel. And if you go there, you'll be able to see me in all my turbo pregnantness. I don't think that's a word, but go check it out. If you've read my book, The Look That Kills, you know that I had a major turning point in my eating disorder recovery when I realized that perfection is not the same thing as holiness. So as far as what the specific differences are, the main thing to think about is that perfection is what the world expects and requires of us. That's the size 2 figure and the perfect job and the perfect husband and the perfect car and the perfect house and the perfect neighborhood and the perfect clothes, and you know, it just goes along with all these things that are material. And can you have a perfect job and still be holy? Absolutely. But are those the things that you're striving for? Are those the things that are more important to you? Because holiness is being perfect by God's standards. And we know that God doesn't look at the appearance. God looks at our hearts. And if your hearts are in the right place, you're being obedient to Him, you're spending time with Him, you're pointing others towards Him, you're serving Him, you're active in His body. Those are the things that are pushing us towards holiness. And the more that you strive for holiness, the more that the perfect standards that the world sets don't really matter. And there's a fine line to walk. The Bible tells us that we are to do all things as if we were working for God and not working for man. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do well in school. There's nothing wrong with wanting to excel in your job. There's nothing wrong with those things, but it's just a matter of where is your focus? Are you trying to be perfect, or are you trying to be holy? And who are you trying to impress? Are you trying to impress the world, your friends, your peers, your coworkers, or are you just living every day to satisfy Christ? So that's the fine line that we have to walk, in knowing that we are not our own, that we represent someone much greater than ourselves, and He has given us a great purpose here. But our number one priority is to live for Him and to do what He's told us to do, rather than follow the expectations and the world standards. Well, every day begins by Bauer waking me up, telling me that he's hungry. Okay, he sleeps on James's side of the bed, yet he comes to wake me up. Something wrong with this picture? I don't know, maybe God's trying to prepare me for parenthood. But Bauer wakes me up, I come downstairs, I fix him breakfast, and then after I fix my shake, I sit down and I have my Bible study and my prayer time. Right now I'm going through a 90-day character study on the Apostle Paul by Beth Moore, and it's amazing. I love it. I'm learning so much. And so I do that, and then usually by that point, James is up and he's out of bed and he's out of the shower, so I try and spend a few moments with him before he goes to work. And then after he leaves, it's either time for me to go teach at the gym, or it's time for me to get my workout on at home, because I've learned that the longer that I let that sit later on in the day, the less likely it is to happen. So I try to get it done right off the bat when I still have a lot of energy and I'm raring to go. After I finish my workout, I get cleaned up, and then it's time to start tackling my to-do list, which I make my to-do list actually the day before, because I'm one of those people that if I'm thinking of things that I have to do the next day, it prevents me from being able to sleep. And so I make my to-do list that night, before I go to bed, to make sure that I'm prepared for the next day and I'm remembering everything that I have to accomplish. So usually the things that are on that list are making sure that I've spent time in my business, that I'm taking the time there, because I think that's one of the dangers when you work from home, is that people think, oh, well, I can work whenever I want to and I get to make my own schedule. Well, yes, but you still have to make that schedule. So itemized things that I do for my business every single day are always on my list, and I just start checking them off one by one. And usually I have some form of preparation for a speaking engagement that I'm doing or a conference call that I have coming up, and so I make sure that I work all that in during the day. So at night, I'm free to spend time with my husband, or I lead a girls' Bible study for our college students. I've got time for that, or if I'm speaking on a conference call, but I don't have things that I should have gotten done during the day still lingering on at night. So hopefully I can have a balance of work and family. And I know that Noah is going to completely throw a wrench into my routine, and I'm going to have to completely reevaluate it, but that's what I handle for now. I think this question was actually worded, how do you do it all? Which I think is funny because I really don't do that much. I think I just make my time count. So if you're one of those people that kind of struggles with organization, make yourself a list, make yourself stick to it, and you'll be amazed at what all you can accomplish in 24 hours. Well, as much as I would love to answer that question for the general public, I can't. You're going to have to take Shakeology to your doctor and see what they say, because your doctor knows your case, she knows your body, and she'll be able to tell you whether Shakeology will work for you during your pregnancy. And no matter what she says, you've got to follow it. I know Shakeology tastes great and you think that you can't live 9 months without it. We call it Crackology in my house too. But your number one priority for the next 9 months is the health of that baby. So be sure to ask your provider to see what they say for you and follow what they tell you. What my doctor told me was that I could continue to take Shakeology. She was very impressed with the ingredients, but she said that I didn't need to take Shakeology and a prenatal vitamin because I could be getting too many of some vitamins if I were to take both. However, she also told me that Shakeology doesn't have enough folic acid in it by itself. So folic acid is one of the most important things that comes in a prenatal vitamin. So she told me to just go to a pharmacy to buy a standard folic acid supplement, and I could take Shakeology and the folic acid supplement and I could be fine. Personally, Shakeology has been great for me during my pregnancy, especially in my first trimester when I didn't want to touch meat. It was about the only protein that I could get down that tasted good to me, so it was important for me. But again, your provider, you're going to have to ask them and trust them no matter what they say. Doctors are smart people. Okay, well that's it for the second edition of Ask Me Anything. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. Remember, you can use the Contact Me form on MichelleMyersOnline.com. You can tweet me at Michelle L. Myers. You can send them to me on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Michelle McNatt Myers. Wherever you want to send them my way and I'll answer them. But you guys have a great week. Thanks again.
Let's go. Get your backs up off the wall. Let's go.